I'm a grateful recovering addict. My name is Martin. I've been clean now for coming up on 3 years. My clean anniversary date is May 10th, 2018. I grew up in a very religious military household. My dad was in the Navy, so it was super strict. Went to church every Sunday. I prayed every day. The problem that I had growing up was that my dad, being in the Navy, he was hardly ever home. I think 6 months out of the year, he was like out to sea. And then my mom worked for the United Airlines, and she worked graveyard shifts, so she was never home when we got home from school. So we were pretty much just like raising ourselves, me, my brother, and my sister. And I was actually kind of head of household when my parents were gone, so I kind of had a lot of responsibilities growing up. I actually didn't start taking drugs until I was like in my mid-20s. All right, so my drug of choice, and I say this a lot, it wasn't really a choice because I just became addicted to it regardless. I got into a car accident in 2004, and that car accident really screwed my back up and my neck up. And we had to go through physical therapy. I was introduced to painkillers. At the time, it was Lortabs. I was doing that for about two and a half months. And that's when I started realizing I was having issues sleeping. I was talking to my doctor about it, and then he proceeded to give me a prescription for Ambien. And that went on for a few months. I was getting sleep and stuff, but then I started noticing that I was like waking up groggy, like just feeling lethargic and like not wanting to do anything and wanting to stay in bed longer. And that led to me talking to my doctor again. I would say 5 months after the car accidents. I'm already on painkillers, Ambien, and now Adderall. So I just started taking that regularly. I was taking Adderall 3 times a day, just to help function. And then one day at work, I got a panic attack. I've never experienced a panic attack before. I thought I was dying. I thought I was having a heart attack. My heart was just beating out of my chest. I was having a hard time breathing, and I swore I thought I was having a heart attack. My boss calls the paramedics. Paramedics come and, asking me all the questions. Am I on any kind of medications? And so I just started going down the list and letting him know what I was taking. And they begin to tell me that, dude, you're just going through, you're experiencing your first panic attack. And after that kind of subsided, he's like, you need to go see your doctor, talk about what just happened, and maybe look at some alternatives for, some of the medications you're taking. So the very next day I went to the doctor and I talked to my doctor about it. And rather than changing up what I was on, he prescribes me Xanax. So now 6 months, about 6-7 months, I'm on 4 pills now that I'm taking daily. I did that for almost 12 years, 14 years. So in my last days of using, the last 3 days, I found myself in a hotel room in Las Vegas. I checked in and I had every intention of just like ending it all. Like I was going through a lot of stuff at home. I found my wife cheating on me. My kids don't even recognize me. I was like not doing good at work, and the bills are falling behind, and I was on the verge of losing the house. Just went home, gathered up all my medication, including some of hers and whatever else I could find at home. I checked into the hotel room and bought a couple bottles of whiskey from the gift store, went up to my room, laid everything out on the table, and just started dumping pills in my hand and just downing it with the whiskey that I bought. After I downed everything, it was everything. Like by this time, it was Percocets, Ambien, Xanax, and Adderall and then like Flexerol and like a few other things that I just found in the house, because my wife at the time was a pill popper as well. And I just took all of it. And then I just like turned the TV on, laid in bed, and just kind of just lay there and waited. 6:04 in the morning, the very next day I wake up and I was just like, what the hell? And I was just like stuck on stupid. I thought for sure that would kill me. And I still was dead set on ending my life. I found a dealer on Craigslist who was selling crystal. And so I hit him up. I go, hey, I want to buy some stuff. We met up at a different hotel. I told him, just give me everything you have on you. He gave me a ball of crystal, half a ball of Coke, and he had a couple Mollies, and just gave it all to me. Drove back to my hotel room, and again, same thing, just started pouring everything into my hand and just like downing it all. But this time I woke up the next morning, it was a little after 11, just covered in dried blood. I had dried blood on the side of my face, on my shirt, all over the sheets. And honestly, after that, I don't know what happened. I just started drinking and must have just blacked out. I wake up in the bathroom of my hotel room. I was lying on the floor. I had my pocket knife in my right hand, and I had a 1/2-inch gash in my left wrist, on my left wrist. And the first thing I see was my reflection in the mirror. And I was just like, what the fuck? What am I doing to my boys? Was the first thing out of my mouth. I drove home immediately after that and called my wife, and I said, hey, I'm home. And, I'm hungover. I mean, I must have drank a ton the night before. I'm just like laying in bed. I'm just like, leave me alone. Let me just get some sleep. And she ends up calling her sister, who I worked with at the time. Her and I have a really good relationship because we work together. So she talks to my wife outside the room to calm her down. And then she comes into the bedroom and talks to me. She made some suggestions. She said, hey, work has this employee assisted program. Give them a call and just kind of let them know what's going on. And she gave me a list of numbers, 3 phone numbers to be exact, 3 phone numbers for local rehabs here in Las Vegas. I called the first one. Oddly enough, it was an answering machine. So didn't leave a message, called the second one, no answer. And then I called the third one. And finally, I was talking to somebody like one-on-one, and she was like, we can take you right now. I said, okay, I'll check myself in the very next day. I want to hang out with my 2 sons. And that's what I did. I hung out with my 2 boys, had dinner, watched a movie. The very next day, my wife comes home and helps me pack, and she drops me off at the treatment center. I had the overdoses, I had the hospitalizations, I had the stint in jail. I had the suicide attempts. Did I need recovery? Yes, I needed it. But it wasn't until I wanted it that I got it. Because again, when I woke up that third morning and I was like, what am I doing to my boys? That was like, for me, like, dude, if I had gone through with what I had planned, my boys would have been screwed up for life. Like, I know that for a fact. They would have been screwed up for life. They would have resented me. They would have probably gone through the same problems that I had with drugs and alcohol. One thing that I've learned is, your kids are going to learn by your actions versus your advice. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. You have to want it. Like I said before, I went through the overdose, the hospitalization. I died on the operating table twice. I flatlined twice. You just have to want it. You just have to want that new way of life, because that old one just isn't working for you. Don't do it for your kids. You have to do it for you, because if you're not right, first and foremost, you're not going to be right for them. So do it for you before you do it for anybody else. It seems hard, but honestly, it's not. As long as you're just focused on doing the right thing, everything will just fall into place.